Here's how I made $27,000 using only 15 hours of my time and $0 of my own money. I did it doing new construction on this property. Now, many of you guys had commented that you wanted to learn a little bit about the new construction process, and I'm not going to be able to give it to you from the beginning, but I am going to give you a little bit of information on what we did here. Now, new construction is a little different than renovating a house, and it takes roughly 4 steps. The first thing that you need to do is find a vacant piece of land, right? And the numbers need to make sense. The next thing that you're going to want to do is get permits. Yes, the permits are one of the longest processes, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes some money, and it takes a lot of patience. But once you get that stuff done and approved, then you can move on to the next step, which is actually constructing the property. Now, this is where it gets fun. See, new construction is a lot easier than renovating an old house because we don't have things that we have to worry about popping up. The foundation is brand new, electrical's brand new, the roof's brand new, everything in this house is brand new. The only piece is making sure that I lock my contractor in to a specific dollar per square foot, because inflation could come and bone him or bone me, and I just don't want none of that. Then step 4 is getting this property staged and ready for sale. Now, we're not quite at step 4 yet, but I'm going to show you the inside of it, and you're going to see exactly how we did this. By the way, if you're just tuning in, my name is Jamil Damji. I am one of the best, if not the best, wholesaler in the United States, but now I can call myself a boutique home builder. Yeah, I'm a home builder, man. This is pretty cool. You know, houses are neat, especially when you build them from scratch, because what if this thing lasts like over 100 years? I mean, I'm going to be well dead before this house actually gets bulldozed and turned into something else. So I think that's pretty dang cool. I want to actually show you guys how the numbers shook out on this property. So let's do some math. So here's how the numbers break down on this deal. This house, once completed, will sell. So basically the ARV is roughly 400,000. Okay, now, when you're looking at vacant land, essentially a boutique builder like myself, we're trying to pick up a lot at typically 25% of what the new construction value will be, which means I need to pick this lot up for about 100K. Now, I overpaid slightly for this lot. I paid 110,000. I actually bought this when the market was really trending up, and new construction takes a little bit of time, right? It's a lot longer of a process than fixing and flipping because you got to get the development permit, you got to get a building permit. It's just a longer, more involved process with the city. So I bought this at a little bit of the height of the market, and now, you know, for that reason I overpaid. I probably could have picked this lot up today at about 100,000, but no big deal. Now, I want to show you guys exactly how I'm going to make money on this. So one of the benefits of building new is that we don't open up a wall like you would in a renovation and find like, oh, I got to redo all the electric, I got to redo all the plumbing, or I've got a, you know, terrible AC, or whatever the crazy things that can happen in a renovation can happen when you're just opening up walls and looking, you know, behind things. So with new construction, none of that exists. I just have to make sure that I have my general contractor locked in at a specific price. And we got the general contractor locked in at $135 per square foot, which is pretty dang good for the kind of material that you see in here, right? We've got white shaker cabinets in here. We've got a really nice quartz countertop. We got luxury vinyl on the floor. Like the house materials, these aren't builder grade, right? These are above builder grade. And so at $135 a square foot, I'm pretty impressed. You wouldn't believe it, but this house is around 1,100 square feet. So I'm gonna show you how the math checks out on this. At 1,100 square feet, I'm gonna multiply that by the $135 a square foot. That gets me to a build cost of about $148,500. Now my lot price was $110,000, and I had some miscellaneous expenses, architecturals, just small things, and we're gonna call that around $5,000. So here's the math: $148,500 plus $110,000 for my lot, plus another $5,000 in miscellaneous holding expenses, gets me to a total cost of $263,500. Now, guys, my ARV on this thing is 400K, right? I'm absolutely gonna have to pay 2 agents on this, so 400,000 times 0.07, let's just say in closing costs, it's about 28,000 in selling costs, gets me to about 372,000 net. When I take out my expenses of 263,000, That leaves me a gross profit of approximately $108,500, which is a lot. Now, because I'm doing this with a partner, each of us are gonna take $54,250. But because I raised all of my capital from a private money lender, I'm actually gonna split this with somebody else. And I'm gonna get $27,125 for me, $27,125 for the private money lender, which is a 10.3% return for their total cost of $263,500. So the private money lender is happy as a pig in shit, and I made $27,125 with $0 out of my pocket. Wow. I make $27,125, no money out of my pocket. Private money lender gets a 10% return on their money, and it's secured by real estate. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. Even if the market went south, I could rent this thing out and my private money lender would hold into the deal with me, because this was something that we had discussed prior. You know, with new construction, you want to make sure that you've got all of your contingencies worked out before you actually get involved in the process. And make sure that if you are working with a private money lender on a new build, that you're not dealing with somebody crazy, because all kinds of things can happen, delays take place, and you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that just is cool. You know what I mean? Now, I want to walk you through this house so you can see what I mean when I say this isn't builder grade, but the functionality of this house is pretty interesting, because for this small footprint, you wouldn't believe that this is a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Yeah, 3-bed, 2-bath house. This is pretty wild. Come on, I'll give you a look. Now, what's really interesting is the individual who's my partner on this property, she's really well-versed in this neighborhood. She understands the community, the demographic, and what things are important to a buyer in this area and what things aren't. One of those things is not having too much excess wasted space, right? Because what tends to happen in a lot of these new construction houses is the developer or the builder really doesn't know how the people who are going to buy the house live. And that's why they put some of these ridiculous dining rooms in these houses where, you know, quite honestly, the people who are going to buy this house would way rather have an extra bedroom. I've seen it happen so many times where you've got a house like this and they've got this big ass dining room in the middle of the house, yet they've only got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, which makes no sense if you've got a large family. Now, look at what you can do instead of a dining room. You see this island over here? We made an island with a nice overhang here, and this is gonna allow you to have at least 6 people be able to eat and dine here. So we eliminate the need for a dining room by having this island in the kitchen. Now, this is still a really good space here for the living area. You've got what would be the TV wall over here. And if you guys can see, none of this material is builder grade. We upgraded everything to luxury vinyl, quartz, shaker, all the really nice fixings that somebody can come into this house and feel really proud to be able to live here. This house, even though it's only 1,100 square feet, is a 3-bed, 2-bath. How cool is that? So here we've got your mudroom and your utility room. We've got our water heater over here. This is the first of the 3 bedrooms. Honestly, this is a really good size. I mean, you can fit a queen in here probably. I don't think you'd be able to fit a king, but you could definitely fit a queen or a twin. If you put a twin in this room would be pretty spacious. You can see here the bathroom. We've got really high quality materials in here. We went a little bit above your typical budget for this type of kitchen or this type of cabinetry. So I'm really happy about the choices that we made over here. Our second bedroom, again, really good size. I think if you put another queen or a twin in here, plenty of room. And then here is our primary. Now, this room is big enough to fit a king in and have some nightstands, but we've also got our ensuite bathroom here. Fully equipped with a really nice sized closet, vanity, and stand-up shower. So you guys can see you fit a lot of utility in this small 1,100 square foot footprint, and that allows us to give this house to a new family that's gonna be able to really get this deal at a good price. Most people would look at this and say, Jamil, why didn't you build a slightly bigger house? You have all this extra land here. You could probably get 1,500 square feet on this property, and I could probably sell it for about $475, $500. I would have made a much better return. So why didn't I do it? Well, one of the things that my partner and I had decided when we got involved in doing these projects was for low-income housing. You see, what we wanted to do is wanted to provide a piece of inventory to the marketplace that was well below the median house price point. Right now in Phoenix, Arizona, that's roughly $460,000. So that's the median price point. By being at $400,000 or less, we're providing a brand new piece of construction to the marketplace for a price that people haven't seen in quite a while. That's something that actually makes me feel pretty proud to be a real estate investor, because, you know, I understand that there's gentrification and a lot of people have different ideas or different feelings on the matter as to how that's affecting communities, and especially in today's world where people are getting priced out of the communities that they lived in all their lives and the communities that their parents lived in all their lives. I feel like it's our responsibility to do something to be able to give back, to be able to provide value to the community without having profit being the number one driving force of what you're doing. And that's why we've left money on the table. That's why we built this property the way that we did. We are going to make a profit. Absolutely. None of us do this for free, but we're making a decent profit, and we're leaving plenty of money available and plenty of opportunity available and equity for the person who moves in here. This is a project I feel really proud to be a part of. So guys, thank you so much for being interested in my new construction developments. I'm actually gonna walk you guys through in a future video where we are gonna show you from the acquisition of the land to the entire process of getting architecturals, to developing and grading the lot, to then coming in and putting your foundation in, getting the framing up, and then finishing the entire house. And we're gonna show you the entire process start to finish, just because you guys asked in that last video. So if there's anything specifically that you'd like to learn more about in the new construction process, do me a favor and leave me a comment below, because as we're unfolding the next new build that we're gonna be involved in, I want to be able to make sure that I'm giving you all the things that you're looking for. And again, guys, if you haven't liked or subscribed to my channel, do that, because you're gonna miss the next video if you don't. Take care.